All right, I hope everybody's hanging in there, doing well, enjoying the holiday weekend. It's Memorial Day, if you celebrate that. It suspiciously feels like every other weekend over the last 2 months, unless you're out there working every day like some people are. So I thought I'd do a video on, let's see, these are a dark blue dragon guppies. I got these, geez, about 9 months ago, and probably even longer. And what I did is I kind of split 2 pair each with my friend Michael of Mikey's Boiling Fish Hut, or no, wait, Michael's Fish Room. That's it. It's like 118 degrees in there. That's why I call it the Boiling Fish Hut. So anyway, these are what's been going on. I have 2 of his pair, and I had 2 pair of mine. And these were difficult to get anywhere with at all. I was looking at this as almost like a total loss. That's the really nice male. That's what they're supposed to look like. And so what happened was the original 2 pair I bought, they kind of died slowly over like 9 months, 10 months. And I didn't get any fry until the last week of the last female's life. I all of a sudden got about 10 or 12 fry. So that's what these are from. These are about 9 months old, 10 months old tops. And they do look exactly like the parents. Both of these females are pretty huge and will hopefully have fry. I'll get to that part in a minute. And the 2 pair I had for Michael, I kept everything separate, because before things went bananas, I was just going to meet him somewhere and drop off the fish to him, and then everything went nuts, so it hasn't happened yet. So his 2 pair are hanging in there. Both females have died by now, because like I said, it's almost 10 months. One of those females had 1 fry, so that ended up being a female. So she's in with the father of his original 2 pair, and I put a couple of females and a male from the other batch that I got from mine. So out of the 10 fish, I have 5 of them. He has 5 of them. I just figured I'd split it all the way because, you know, we both shelled out quite a bit of money, and the fish were not as prolific as they should have been unless they eat the fry. I'm really not sure which it is. So anyhow, these are the adults and what they're supposed to look like. The water's a little bit cloudy, but I'll try to get a close-up on the male. You can see he's got a very high dorsal, a bit of like a, I guess like a cobra pattern, and then the black coming near the pec fins, if I can ever get them on here, or like a slash mark, and I think that's what makes them referred to as dragon. They don't breathe fire, so they're really not that kind of dragon, but I guess in Asian breeders' folklore, it's kind of dragony looking. So I will get to the next batch, because I did get some fry from these initially, like about 3-4 months into it. So I grew them out, and I'll get them on here next. I culled out some of them. And let me see if I can get them on here. Oh, it's Stimpy! Stimpy, you idiot! Ah, sorry. That used to be on my desk when I worked. So, anyhow, let me get to this stuff here. These are the next group of fry that are growing out. And I also mentioned that we all know that the early bird gets the worm, but did you know that it's the second mouse that gets the cheese? Think about that. It's not very funny. So I'll see if I can get closer since the water is clearer on these. Now I'm a little confused with dragon guppies, because I've seen so many different kinds or names: blue dragon, green dragon, red dragon, Puff the Magic Dragon. So the key seems to be in the females. The tail of the female seems to hold most of the genetics for the color. Now I could be 100% wrong, but I'm just going by what I've come up with. Now the red dragons I've seen, the females always have a a matching tail to the males, and the darker colored dragon females seem to have a like a bluish or darker tail. Words I'm trying to get out. Now you can see this one is kind of reddish, and that's out of the 10 original fry. That's actually not him, that's her. It's a female. Very nice one. See if this dude gets back in the picture. Here we go. So there's red in the tail and the dorsal. So these fish are not breeding true, from what I would say, but the two types that they have are both incredible. Now it might be something like the blue grass line, or as some people call them, glass. You'll start out with blue grass, and eventually you'll start getting some red, or some red and blue. Something to do with the genes, the Asian Blau gene, and you're just always going to get some red, and I'm thinking these are the same. So these are about 5-6 months old, and I have one that's got a little bit of blue and red, which I was trying to get him on here. This one's obviously got the all blue, and that one behind him that you can't see because he keeps hiding. Oh, dude. Yeah, right. I'll go on to the other guys if he's not going to cooperate. There he is. But I really like that, and I'm going to eventually try to section off a couple of those males with, I'm going to try with lighter colored females. So you can see that I have a couple of different types of females in here. These are all in great shape. Now this one's got some color in the dorsal and color in the tail. And if I can get the other ones on here, I can show you. This one has very little color in the dorsal. Hardly any. And a little bit less in the tail. So I'm going to try with different females with these males and see what I end up getting. So interesting. I really like these. They're beautiful fish. They have a very high dorsal, like I started to say, and a real nice intricate pattern on the body, and the tail's got a nice pattern. It's more like a half moon shaped tail than like a delta like you'd see with IFGA guppies, or triangular shape. It's always going to be like a rounded half moon. So they're going to get big and with a very large high dorsal. So they're kind of striking looking, especially when they don't hide behind the plants. So we'll see. But anyway, these are really beautiful. I'll probably start to sell some soon. I got to give Michael his fish. I have about 30 fry, so I'm going to give him 15 of them. We're not going to split fry in half. We're keep it an even number, and I'll give him the original 2 pair, which actually now is 2 males and 3 females. So hopefully I can get that to him soon, because I know he's anxious to get the fish. And what is a frog's favorite drink? Croak-a-cola. Croak-a-cola. Yeah, it's not very good. Yeah, it's not even funny. I don't know who writes these jokes. So I don't know much about the genetics of these things. I do like the way they look, as I've said about 18 times during my disjointed rambling video. So I'll try to get these guys. They seem to want to stay on camera. See if I can get the glare off them. Now these females both look similar. Some color in the dorsal, same color in the tail on both. This one's starting to get the hump back from age and from having fry. That's kind of what happens. This one I'm expecting to have fry very soon. I mean, I can just about see the eyeballs in the gravid spot, and this one's rounding off as well. So what I did is I did a big water change in their tank, and I dumped a bunch of water Sprite in their tank. They're just in this photo tank for the video, because there's so much plants and stuff in their tank you can't really see them if I left them in there. So hopefully I'll have some good news, get some more fry out of these, and then get this on the board as far as having some to sell at some point. And these do eat their fry without a doubt. And I think the other thing I found is genetics wise, you always get a very intricate looking high dorsal male, but the color just may vary. And I have a feeling that's because they just don't breed true, in the sense that we think a guppy breeds true, like a half black yellow, half black pastel, etc., etc. So these are very aggressive males, and these guys are just in a photo tank for this video. I think there's a couple fry in here actually, so that's a good sign. Probably that one most likely, or that one in the back. There's a third female, but she definitely didn't have them, or maybe she did. So anyway, I just thought I'd go over the blue dragons, dark blue dragons. If you have any questions, just let me know. And the last thing I'll remember to tell you is this blind guy walks into a store with his CNI dog, and all of a sudden he picks up the leash and starts swinging the dog over his head around in circles. And the store owner says, "Yo, what are you doing?" And the blind guy says, "I'm just having a look around." But I'm bummed. Yeah, let me know if any of these jokes were any good. I think they all stunk. So at least the fish were nice. And if you want to buy any of the fish food, you can send me an email. I'll leave it in the product or the video description. And if you'd rather buy it off of eBay, you can do that. If you'd rather buy it off of Aquabid, you can do that. I'm on both. Not selling fish yet. Still a stay in your home order in Philadelphia. It's going to be in effect for at least 2 more weeks. So I'm being a good boy, and I am staying in the house and watching really bad movies. So highly recommend you watch some terrible movies on YouTube or Amazon Prime or whatever you have. Some real stinkers were made in the 50s and 60s. I think the worst one I've seen, which is probably worse than Plan 9 from Outer Space, is Robot Monster. Now, it's not a robot and it's not a monster. It's an alien, apparently from the future, that decides they want to destroy Earth because they're afraid we'll get nuclear power and we're too stupid to know how to use it. And so he decides to kill everybody. And in his infinite wisdom, he kills all but 8 humans, which he can't find. And they taunt him through like a video screen thing they hacked into. And he has to walk around all over the place looking for them as he's trying to kill them. And the strange thing is that for a robot monster from an advanced planet, it's essentially a guy in a gorilla suit wearing a diving helmet. So think of that. So you can tell that that's a terrible movie. And I appreciated every minute of it. So anyway, that's the dark blue dragon guppies. These would not be an IFGA type guppy in any way. There's no class for them. IGEES would have a class for them. And these are nice. So I'll try to update some other stuff. Hang in there, be smart, be good fish people, and do your water changes, because the fish will appreciate it. See ya.